Good afternoon. I wanted to come to you in a very transparent manner and pose a question that was posed to me. And I wanted to answer that question publicly because I think it may be able to help someone else. So, the question that was asked to me by a Caucasian friend of mine was, why does everything have to be about race? And I answered the question, and I want to answer that question publicly. In a lot of these situations, everything has to be about race because race matters. It matters in the disparities that we find ourselves in as African Americans. So, in employment, in education, in housing, in healthcare, um, every major issue, finance, every major issue, home ownership, race plays its part. And so it is very, it sometimes throws me off because I never want African Americans to allow their truth to be minimized or used as a way to guilt them into, like, oh, you should look past race. Race doesn't matter, because race does matter. We would love for race not to matter. We are exhausted as a people. I know they talk, there's a term out there like black fatigue. Well, we have race fatigue. That means that we're constantly having to explain to somebody how race plays a part, which means, once again, I feel like there's so much dismissiveness in someone's personal experience. So, to answer that question, the question I would like to pose to um, anyone that has that question in their head, it's not a bad question. I just don't always think it's a well thought out question. Because if someone believes that racial disparities exist um, because white people are just naturally better, safer, smarter, or more deserving, or more moral than black people, then that belief in itself, people, is racist. Think about it. If that's why you believe that there's so many disparities in this country, is because of just naturally how much more superior white people are than minorities or black people, then you've got to really do a heart check, a gut check, whatever you want to call it. You've got to face that fact and start working on it. It doesn't mean you have to live there. It just means you have to be aware and start to do things better. Um, Now, if to the alternative, you recognize that white people are not superior, you must be willing to confront the reality that unequal outcomes are not accidental. They're produced by systems, assumptions, biases, policies, and narratives that have operated in this country for generations. That's why race matters. It's not because black people want to play the race card. For goodness sake, we have a lot to do, and playing the race card is not one. So that doesn't come as just a natural way to get out of things. If you're looking at some of the things that have taken place in this country, if you're being honest with yourself, I am sure whether it was in school somewhere, you know that in a lot of cases you have witnessed African Americans be at the top of their game and still struggle. So, all of these numbers, these disparities that are, there's proof in the stats, just take a look. I think it's a great question. I don't think it's one that we should even be questioning in this day and age if we really think through it. There's only one of two thoughts. Either you understand clearly that for you, all of these disparities that we find in the statistics are because black people are just not as good as white people, or you're going to have to do a deeper dive and say, hey, there are some systems in place to keep our black brothers and sisters in situations with alternative outcomes than what the ones that we experience. I hope this helps. I hope that this gives you some room to dig deep, do a heart check, do a gut check, just stretch. That's growth. That's what we want to do. Because if we're going to build a better America for our children, then we're going to have to start with doing the work within ourselves. Okay, I hope that answers the question. Have a great day.